Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. I do apologise for my absence in the last week or so, or couple of weeks, however long it's been. But it's been a bit hectic here at First Light Crafts. Can you believe I'm already getting requests and orders for Christmas products, which I haven't even developed yet? So that's why I've been busy. I've been scrambling around trying to catch up with customers' orders. But I think I'm just about on top of it now. So we're back to our normal schedule, and I'm going to try and get back to doing 2 videos a week, one on a Tuesday and one on a Friday. So here we go. We should be back to normal now, God willing. And so here we go with our first project of this week. And I'm going to make what I'm going to call an open front card. I don't know if there's another name for it. I haven't seen it elsewhere. It was just an idea that I had. It's for if you've got lovely, I'm sure we've all got lovely pattern papers in our drawers and in our craft stash that we think, if only we could show those off in our cards a bit more. Well, if that's you, if you've got lovely pattern papers which you'd like to make more of a feature in your greeting cards, this project is definitely for you, and it's not difficult to do. I'm even going to show you how to get over a mistake, a very stupid mistake that I made, which I suppose anybody could make, but I wouldn't have made it if I'd been watching what I was doing. So I have corrected the mistake now. I actually had to start the video again, but I'll explain that when we get to it. So we are making a 6x6 card, and you can either use white card, use some pattern papers, we'll get to that in a minute, but for your card base, so to speak, and you'll find out more about what I mean as we go along, you can use either white card or a coloured card, a plain coloured card, but I would strongly recommend that you use the thickest card that you've got. Don't use anything lower than I would say a 220 minimum, 220 GSM, otherwise it just won't stand up. And you'll see what I mean when we put the card together. So you will actually need 2 pieces. I think I might have said 1, but you will need 2 pieces of white. Well, we'll just say white for now because that's what we're using. White card. And the first piece, well, we'll need 2 pieces of 6x6, but on the first piece of 6x6, this is the back. I've already prepared the front just to make it easier and a bit smoother because it's not anything that's difficult. So you will need your pattern paper. This is what I meant about your lovely pattern papers. This pattern paper is 5.5 by 5.5 inches, and I have used an ordinary or a strong glue stick to glue this down. But you can use any PVA style glue. I wouldn't suggest or recommend using construction glue because it might make it a bit top heavy and it won't stand up. So that's what we need to do, either a strong glue stick or just a standard PVA glue. Next you will need 2 strips of white card which measure 7 inches by 1 inch. Now I know that's going to make it too long, but what you do at one end, you score 1 inch. You score it across at 1 inch, and then what you do, I'm using double-sided tape to put my front part together. But what you don't do what I did the first time I did this video, which is why I had to start it again. And you don't put tape on that bit. You only put it on that bit. But if you do, actually, this is still a bit sticky, and that's not going to work. So what you do, if you do make a mistake and you think, oh golly, now if you put glue on this bit, it would make it more difficult to correct. You could wipe it off, I suppose, but you're still going to have a sticky film. So if you've put double-sided tape on this bit and you think, oh bother, I shouldn't have done that, unless of course you want to make it into a frame and then put another bit on the back, that's fine. But if you want to make it this way and you do accidentally put tape on there, this is just an ordinary wet wipe, a baby wipe. Go over it. Just go over it with a wet wipe, or even a tissue, a wet cloth even, if you've got an old dishcloth, a clean one obviously. But just go over it with a wet wipe or a wet cloth. Whoops. And that will take the sticky off for you. And I'm going to do that on both of these bits because I did it on both pieces, which was very clever of me, wasn't it? So we're just going to give it a wipe, but try not to bend it. Mine is a 300 GSM card, my white card. That's taken the sticky off, that's good. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want the sticky going on there. And then what we're going to do, right, this is the reason we wanted this 1 inch, because that's going to be a flap. Where you folded it, that's going to be a flap. And what you're going to do, you're going to line it up. This is the front, but you're going to line it up with the edge like that. And you're going to stick that. Now that bit you do want sticky, so you're going to stick that bit down like that. And then, this is still a little bit sticky actually, but it shouldn't matter too much. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. Just line it up with that edge. Line the fold line, put the fold line on the edge of your card and fold it over like that. And then you will have 2 pieces. Now that's nice. And then where you've put your fold lines, just give it a bit of a bend like that, and that will help it to stand up. Especially if you have put glue on or sticky stuff where you shouldn't have done. Now the next thing you will need a white strip which is 6 by 1 inch. Well, let's just slide that over a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And you will need a pattern strip which is, now wait, how did I do that? Yes, 5 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. And again, in the middle, I foolishly put sticky. I put the sticky tape all the way through. So just take off that tape. Just give it a wipe, either with a wet wipe or a damp cloth. Just, if you haven't got a wet wipe, just use a dishcloth, a clean dishcloth or a J cloth, any piece of cloth. Pop it under the cold tap and then give it a good squeeze, and then rub it, and that'll take the sticky off. But don't take the sticky off of the 2 ends, because you do need that. And then what we're going to do, just make sure we've tucked the tape in so that it doesn't stick out. I don't like tape that sticks out over the edge when it's not supposed to. And then we're going to stick that like that, and we're going to stick that like that. Now that's what I meant when I said an open fronted card, because this bit is open. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to turn it over. Now as you see, when we turn it over, we've got these 2 tabs. Now what you could have done was just measured your pattern paper at the 6, stopped at 6, but that doesn't matter, because that's why we've got this other piece. Now this is your second piece of 6 by 6, and this time you do need to put tape all the way down. Now I've used tape because it'll stick instantly. In fact, what we are going to do, we're going to do what I quite often do when I'm using tape, and I'm going to take some glue stick, strong glue stick, and we're just going to run it over the tape and between. Now this doesn't, now for those who might not have heard me say this before, that doesn't add to or take away from the stickiness. All it does do is give us a bit more time to get this in the right place. Now what we're going to do, let me just pop that up so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I always line mine up from the bottom, but there's no right or wrong way of doing this. You line yours up from wherever you find it easiest. And we're going to stick that down like that. And then not only does it strengthen the back, it gives you somewhere to write. So you can write your message, or you can stamp a message, die cut a message, hand write a message, however you want to do this. And then when you turn it over, you have a card that hopefully, oh, hang on. Right, what I'm trying to do, I think we're there. Yeah, the problem is I've still got sticky stuff on the back, but that will dry out. I'm not going to worry about that. Once I've lifted it, and later on what I will do is I'll run a bit more fluid over it, but that will sit like that. And then all you've got to do is I'm going to put a decoration in one end and a sentiment at the top. So I've got 2 sets. One is a foiled set, and the other one isn't a foiled set. So I could either have that there and that there, which is quite nice, or I could have the foiled set, which would sit like that and like that. I know it covers up a bit more of the paper, but because this has got foiling in it, do you know what? I'm going to use the foiled set. Now, what you don't need to do is do what I've been doing throughout this and making a right mess of it. So what you need to do is don't put it all over the back because you're just going to stick the two bits together. What I would suggest you do is pop down your embellishment, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a pencil, that'll do, and just underneath I'm going to mark, put a pencil mark, one there, and so then I'm going to put that back on there on my pencil mark and put one there. So now all I need, now I know where my runner, I'm going to use runner tape for this. So I've put my markers on, so I know where to put my runner tape. So I'm going to put a bit there and a bit there, and that's still sticky, so I need to be careful with that, but that's all right, we'll deal with that afterwards. And that's still sticky as well, but never mind. But that will sit, make sure we've got it the right way up because it's a kingfisher, so we don't want him tilting. So stick that down like that, and then all we've got to do is, again, don't put your adhesive on your sentiment, put it on here. You can use glue for this if you want to. I'm just using red runner tape because it's on my desk. Then all we've got to do, make sure you haven't got it upside down, and stick it down like that, and that will stand, because it's got that backing, that will stand really nicely like that. So I'm going to let that stand up in a minute, but I'll hold it like that because I have still got some tape to take off. You could put some acetate on here if you wanted to, then you wouldn't have to worry about the sticky stuff at the back. But if I'd have thought about that earlier, I might have done, but I didn't, so I haven't. But then on the back, you've got plenty, you've got a nice clear space to write your message. And as you can see, that will stand up really nicely. So if I tilt that back, you can see how it stands. So there you go, guys. There is our open fronted card, which displays and shows off your beautiful pattern papers really nicely. So I hope you have a go at this, and if you do, please pop along and join our, if you're not already a member. If you are a member, that would be lovely. But come along and join us at Crafty Capers with Dawn, which is our Facebook group, and show us your versions. And we'd love to see what you do and how you do it and your lovely papers. So until Friday, thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Have fun. And as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.